Hello everyone, my name is Sola, and now I'm going to present about Mataram Kingdom. Mataram Kingdom is an Islamic state in the form of an empire on the land of Java that exists in the 17th century. The kingdom has been established since the 16th century, but only became a sovereign state in the 17th century, led by a dynasty of Ki Ageng Sela and Ki Ageng Pemanahan, descent or cult of the House of the Mataram. The beginning was in the form of Alas Mentawak area, which was given by Sultan Handiwijaya to Ki Ageng Pemanahan for his service, then became a duchy under the Sultanate of Pajang. With Kota Gede as the initial center of government of the Islamic State of Mataram Kingdom, the first sovereign king was Danang Sutawijaya, the son of Ki Ageng Pemanahan. The Sultanate of Mataram in its golden age had united the island of Java, except the Sultanate of Banten and the Cirebon Sultanate and its surroundings, including the island of Madura, and country had fought the VOC in Batavia to prevent the growing power of the trading firm, but ironically received VOC assistance at the end of its collapse. Next is Kota Gede. Kota Gede is a historic neighborhood in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. The name was also used for the district or kecamatan of the same name in the city of Yogyakarta. Kota Gede contains the remains of the first capital of Mataram Sultanate, established in the 16th century. Some of the remains of the old Kota Gede are remains of the place, the royal cemetery, the royal mosque, and the defensive wall and moats. Kota Gede is well known internationally by its silver crafting. Next is Ki Ageng Pemanahan. Ki Ageng Pemanahan is a figure who is considered to inherit the kings of the Mataram dynasty. According to Babat Tanah Jawi manuscript and the Khanda fiber, he is the descendant of the Sela people, the old name for Pati, who migrated to Pajang and in 1556 received a mandate of Sultan Ade Wijaya. His son, Bagus Rubut, later became the first person from the Mataram dynasty to rule the Mataram Sultanate as Penambahan Senapati. Handiwijaya gave gifts in the form of Mataram and Patilan. Ki Pemanahan, who felt older, succumbed to choosing Mataram, which was still in the form of dense forest, while Ki Penjawi get Pati area, which at the time was in the form of a city. Bumi Mataram is a former ancient kingdom that collapsed in 929. Over time, this area became more and more lonely until finally covered by dense forest. The people called the forest that covers Mataram under the name Alas Mentawak. Next is Sultan Agung. Sultan Agung Adiprabu Hanyakrakusuma was the third Sultan of Mataram Kingdom in Central Java, ruling from 1613 to 1645. A skilled soldier, he conquered neighboring states and consolidated his kingdom to the greatest territorial and military power. Under his leadership, Mataram developed into the largest kingdom in Java and archipelago at the time. For his service as warrior and cultural observer, Sultan Agung has been designated as a national hero of Indonesia. His father was the second king of Mataram, while his mother was the daughter of Prince Benawa, king of Pajang. He conquering Madura in 1624. He changed his title to Susuhunan Agung, or abbreviated as Sunan Agung. Fun fact, Borobudur Temple is historical heritage from Mataram Kingdom. Next, these are the words of Sultan Agung to warriors not to be afraid of death. They fought in order to gain glory. Next are the 3% of king of the Mataram Kingdom. For the first one is Senopati. During his reign, the kingdom adhered to Javanese tradition, although Islam had already been introduced into the Java. The Javanese Muslim state of Pajang got in trouble when Penabahan Senopati came to undermine the authority of the king of Pajang. Senopati had conquered the Mataram district himself and circa 1576. He conquered Pajang, imposed the new religion, and established his own court. The Mataram ruler refused to embrace Islam. Many historiographical problems surround the Senopati's reign. He concentrated his spiritual powers through meditation and asceticism. Senopati's reliance upon both Sunan Kalijaga and Nyai Loro Kidul in the chronicles accounts nicely reflects the Mataram dynasty ambivalence towards Islam in ingenious. The straight line between Mount Merapi at the north and the southern sea, with the Mataram kingdom at the center, was a strong concept of cosmology among the Javanese. One is Amengkuratwan. Amengkuratwan was the king of Mataram Sultanate who ruled in 1646 until 1677. He is the son of Sultan Agung Hanyo Kusumo. He was more successful in rebelling during his reign. He died on his escape in 1677 and was buried in Tegalwangi near Tegal. So it is also known as the posthumous title Sunan Tegalwangi or Sunan Tegalarum. Another name is Sunan Getek because he was injured while fighting the rebellion of Mas Alit, his own younger brother, is Amengkurat II, or you can call it Mas Rahmat. Mas Rahmat grew up in Surabaya. He then moved to the place of Pleret as Duke of Einem. But his relationship with his younger sister, Prince Singasari, was poor. There was also news that the position of Duke of Einem would be transferred to Singasari. In 1661, Mas Rahmat revolted, supported by figures who did not like the Amengkuratwan government. The small uprising could be quelled. Mas Rahmat supporters were all crushed. However, Amengkuratwan himself failed when trying to poison Mas Rahmat in 1663. The relationship between father and son has increasingly tense. 1668, Mas Rahmat fell in love with Rara Oyi, a Surabaya girl who was about to become his father's concubine. Prince Pakik was desperate to kidnap Rara Oyi to be married to Mas Rahman. As a result, Amengkuratwan was angry and killed Prince Pakik and his family. Mas Rahmat himself was forgiven after being forced to kill Rara Oyi with his own hands. Next is social and culture. We will talk about the social first. Its geographical location in the interior is supported by fertile land, making the Kingdom of Mataram as an agricultural area which is quite developed, even becoming the largest rice exporting region at that time. The people of Mataram also conduct a lot of sea trading activities. This can be seen from the control of port areas along the north coast of Java. The combination of two economic elements, namely agrarian and maritime, could make the Mataram kingdom strong and the political arena in the archipelago. Okay, the second is culture. During the greatness of Mataram, culture also flourished, including dance, sculpture, literary arts, and so on. In addition, the emergence of Kejawen culture is in acculturation between native culture, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Islam. Global ceremony that organized in the worship of ancestral spirits. Next, we are going to talk about the cause of the collapse of the Mataram kingdom. There are two reasons why Mataram kingdom can be destroyed. The first factor is external factor and internal factor. For the external factor, there are four factors: the Merapi eruption, VOC interference, the entry of Islam, and the last one, a political crisis. First, there are several things that led to the emergence of number 1006, which in the inscription or old text called Pralaya, or you can call it major disaster, related to the history of eruption of Merapi and made it considered as a truth. One of them, the discovery of the Puncangan inscription dating to 1041 AD, believed by H. Kern in Ein Oud Javanisch, Steinis Scripti van Koning Erlangga. The inscription made by King Erlangga of the Kahuripan kingdom revealed that a pralaya had occurred in the ancient Mataram kingdom in 928 Saka or 1006 AD. Ancient Mataram kingdom, or often also called as Hindu Mataram kingdom, refers to the kingdom of Medang, which was originally thought to be centered around Yogyakarta. Then, in the Kedu area near Temanggung, Central Java, the H. Leberton in Oud Javanisch gegevens omtrent de vulkanologie van Java, continue current analysis, then link the possible cause the collapse of the ancient Mataram kingdom in Central Java to volcanic events. Next is the political crisis. The political crisis might be quite strange because there was a struggle for power between princes in ancient Mataram kingdom when Sri Maharaja Rakaiwatu Kura Diah Balitung Darmodaya Mahasambu came to power. The struggle for power caused a war between princes. I know, it's strange, right? Surapati from Madura, which is where the rebellion was supported by the people of Mataram themselves. From there, the VOC began to influence the Mataram palace environment, and as it develops, Mataram kingdom collapsed because one of the external factor, the VOC. So stupid lah. is the internal factor. There are only two factors that cause of the collapse of the Mataram Kingdom. The first one is the civil war, and the second one, there is no formation of new leader. Next is about Sutawijaya success defeating Arya Penangsang. Okay. After returning from the meeting with Arya Penangsang, initiated by Sunan Kudus and Sunan Bonang, which did not produce peace between them, Duke of Adiwijaya followed the envoy sent secretly to him by Queen Yamat to Mount Danaraja, the hiding place of his mother-in-law, who being imprisoned, naked, and will not dress before Arya Penangsang died. Ratu Yamat was offended by Sunan Kudus, who had become the supreme judge in Demak. In connection with the killing of her sister Sunan Prawata, who became the Sultan of Demak by Arya Penangsang, and Sunan Kudus sided with Arya Penangsang, not giving justice to her as she had asked, even though her own husband had also been killed by Arya Penangsang. Fortunately, he himself managed to escape the assassination attempt. Ratu Yamat urged Duke Adiwijaya to immediately kill Arya Penangsang, and he would surrender all of his right to the throne to him if Jaka Tingkir managed to avenge him. Out of respect for the brother-in-law and encouraged by the sense of justice for killing committed by Arya Penangsang, the Duke of Adiwijaya also decided to immediately end the long of Arya Penangsang. Himself would also have been died as a victim if the sins of the 9 bulls could not protect. Tingkir is very nice because of his knighthood, he did not want to interfere directly to handle Arya Penangsang. From his experience fighting against magic figures in the martial world, he can measure the level magic of Arya Penangsang, which is still below him. Even though Arya Penangsang had high power and it was said he was also immune to sharp weapons, but Arya Penangsang's power were still too low for him, although he himself held personal grudge against all the Demak people, and since regarding the killing of his parents and siblings, he chose to not to depend hospitality. That is also the reason that Duke Adiwijaya remains in Pajang. Arriving in Pajang, Adipati Adiwijaya called his loyal advisor Ki Pemanahan and Ki Panjawi to ask for their consideration, because Ki Pemanahan and Ki Panjawi agreed to his lord's decree. Duke Adiwijaya handed them to ask of destroying Raden Arya Penangsang, along with the provision of the heirloom spear Kiai Pleret to destroy the power of Arya Penangsang. Ki Pemanahan is someone who has a deep understanding of spiritual world. Together with Ki Panjawi, finally a good day and place was determined to defeat Raden Arya Penangsang. And as opposite to fight Raden Arya Penangsang was appointed his own stepchild, who was still a young teenager, namely Danang Sutawijaya. Ki Pemanahan in his sleep had received vision that a Keprabon revelation was coming down and perched inside a coconut tree behind his house. In his dream, he was told that however drank the coconut water would later become the king of Java. After picking the coconut, Ki Pemanahan did not immediately drink the coconut water because he had just had breakfast, afraid of being overstuffed and afraid of not being able to drink the coconut water. Then he put the coconut fruit under the ambient in the kitchen and his house and ordered his wife to forbid anyone who would drink the coconut water because he himself will drink it later after returning from the rice field. But a few moments later, Sutawijaya, his stepson, came home from the fields after delivering the buffalo for his father to plow in the fields. He found a coconut under the ambient in his kitchen. He drank the water on late in the afternoon after Ki Pemanahan came from the rice field. He was very angry with his wife and Sutawijaya because after all his coconut water had run out, the king revelation did not come down to him, but had already entered Sutawijaya. Not everyone understands Sasmita, but as someone who understands Sasmita's supernatural, when given Sasmita, Ki Pemanahan should immediately implement what has been shown to him. If it is true, he wants to make it happen, not because of his negligence of his blessing disappear away. If it is that the Sasmitanya is so important and it wants to be realized, it really doesn't matter. Ki uncle has a stomach full of heavy drinking, and it doesn't matter if he delays going to rice field, even if he forced to all day. He doesn't need to go to the field because his distress will not be comparable to his glory later after he become a king. On the appointed day and place came Raden Arya Perangsang, fulfilling the invitation to the battle challenge, but apparently he met across the Bengawan was a young Danang Sutawijaya. Not the Duke of Adiwijaya was written in the challenge later. His anger rose to the top of his head, aware that he had been tricked. Moreover, he was confronted with a young man yesterday afternoon, which he considered not old enough to deal with him. The boy horse is also a horse pulling a cart, not a war horse. And each held a powerful spear, which was given a short handle for close combat. While raising the spear of Kiai Pleret, given by Duke of Adiwijaya, Danang Sutawijaya challenged the war. He said, "You do not deserve to face my lord. Face me first, step over my dead body." Arya Perangsang is a person who is angry and easily angry, faced with a challenge and humiliation because he was confronted with a young man yesterday afternoon. Immediately, with an overflowing anger, he crossed Bengawan, who was recording because of the dry season. Along the way, the horse moved wildly and neighed abysmally. Because the river across is a haunted place, Arya Perangsang does not care. While pulling his spear, he raised his horse to where Sutawijaya was. Arriving across the Bengawan, his horse increasingly neighing and surging wildly out of control. He tried hard to not fall from his horse. Sutawijaya used the opportunity to attack. his spear managed to stab deep into the abdomen of Arya Penangsang. Heavy red blood flowed out. Arya Penangsang groaned in pain and rolled down from his horse. It turned out that Arya Penangsang immunity was still defeated by spear of Kiai Pleret. The calculation of Duke of Adiwijaya is right. He can measure the power of Arya Penangsang. There is no need for the kris to the mainstay of Kiai Sengkelat. His Kiai Pleret spear is apparently capable enough to defeat the immunity of the Yellow Arya Astimulan. Even though his knowledge was still far behind and the power of spear Kiai Pleret was also still less than Arya Penangsang Kiai Satan Kris, but Sutawijaya was unyielding and determined to resist. The blood of his youth surged. His confidence was high, confident in the support of the people behind him, plus he also had success injuring Arya Penangsang, who was known for not being capable of sharp weapons. Although his movement rather slow because of holding pain in his stomach, Arya Penangsang continues to attack Sutawijaya, who has also come down from his horse. In fact, because it continues to move and stabbing, jumping, kicking, the Arya Penangsang getting worse, flooding to his clothes and pants. Even his intestines were pushed out of the hole in his stomach, producing and hanging out, so he had to put it on the handle of the kris, which he moved to the front left way. It might not be safe because of the severe wound on his stomach, plus the poison of warangan from Sutawijaya's spear. Despite his stomach ache, and his strength getting weaker. Realizing not to let him die first, Arya Penangsang went on a rampage to attack Sutawijaya all out. On one occasion, he raised his spear up and swung it with all his might towards Sutawijaya's head. Sutawijaya could not avoid and was forced to hold the spear swing with all his strength with the handle of the spear with both hands. But even though it was already weak, the strength of Arya Penangsang was extraordinary for Sutawijaya's size, until Sutawijaya fell tackled by Arya Penangsang's spear swing. Although, because of the impact, the Arya Penangsang spear also bounced away. Continued his attack by hitting Sutawijaya, who was lying on his back on the ground. The knees of his left leg locked Sutawijaya's right hand holding the spear. His right knee pressed against Sutawijaya's stomach, and his left hand pressed against Sutawijaya's neck. Sutawijaya is helpless. His attack, he drew his kris to step into Sutawijaya's chest, but immediately Arya Penangsang also screamed softly. Extracting the Arya Penangsang kris had severed his own intestine, which he put on the handle of his kris, and the poison of his kris had also poisoned him. Arya Penangsang was killed instantly. That was a pretty long story, right? Okay, next. Vassal. At the time of the Kingdom of Mataram had won to destroy by the Kingdom of the Small Kingdom, or you can call it vassal, but the Kingdom of the Small Kingdom failed to destroy the Kingdom of Mataram because the Kingdom of Mataram was far superior to them. As a result, they were destroyed by the Kingdom of Mataram. Next is penambahan Sedak Krapyak. Sri Susuhan Adi Prabu Yakawati Senapati ing Ngalaga Mataram was the second king of Mataram Sultanate who ruled in 1601 until 1613. He is also often referred to the posthumous title Penambahan Sedang ing Krapyak, or simply Penambahan Sedak Krapyak, which means His Majesty who died in Krapyak. This figure is the father of Sultan Agung, the biggest king of Mataram, who also a nation hero of Indonesia. The conclusion. Mataram Kingdom was founded by Ki Ageng Pemanahan. Mataram Kingdom developed and became the biggest empire in the island of Java with a great sultan. Mataram Kingdom reached its heyday also under his leadership of the great sultan or Sultan Agung. Even though it was victorious, there are still many kingdoms that want to destroy it big but could not destroy it. But the kingdom of that size can collapse also due to many factors, and the remaining remains of the kingdoms of Mataram can be found in the land of Java. Is the question. You should answer the question. Okay. The first one. Who is the founder of Mataram Kingdom? The second one. At whose time Mataram get heyday? And the third one is Penambahan Sedak Krapyak. What is Penambahan Sedak Krapyak? The fourth one is where is Kota Gede, which became the center of Mataram Kingdom? The fifth one, what natural factor that caused the collapse of Mataram Kingdom? I'm Sola and thank you.